It was the kind of night that hides its dangers behind laughter and neon lights. The streets of Pamplona, Spain, alive with the chaos of the festival, smelled of beer, sweat, and something darker, something unspeakable lurking in the shadows. Somewhere between the music and the crowds, a young woman walked alone, unaware that her night was about to fracture forever. Imagine the tension of an ordinary evening, suddenly ripped open by the worst human intentions. She had been celebrating, caught up in the freedom of youth. Laughter spilling from her lips, but freedom can be deceptive. The sounds of the festival cheers, clinking glasses. Distant drums masked a danger stalking her every step. And then, in the shadows, they found her, 5 men. Friends, strangers, a pack bound by a chilling camaraderie. Their actions would leave a scar on Spain's collective conscience. A scar that would not fade easily. The woman, barely in her 20s, found herself at the mercy of a cruelty so cold it seemed rehearsed, planned, inevitable. It was not just an attack, it was a violation of everything she trusted about the night, the city, herself. The events unfolded with terrifying simplicity. They met her outside the festival. She felt disoriented, tired, vulnerable, emotions amplified by alcohol and the lidar. They offered help. They offered smiles. But behind those smiles, the darkness of intention. One moment she was navigating the crowded streets, searching for safety, and the next, she was in a private world of horror. An elevator cemented silence, a deserted apartment that would become a cage. The festival roared on, indifferent. Outside, the city continued, unaware. Inside, a nightmare was quietly, efficiently unfolding. The crime itself was merciless. She could not move, could not scream in a place built for isolation. The fear, the immediate, visceral terror was punctuated by a horrifying realization. There was no one to help, no one to intervene. Every sound of the apartment, the creak of a floorboard, the hum of a refrigerator felt like a predator circling. And then, almost immediately, the world would shift forever. When the video evidence surfaced, it was worse than anyone imagined. Not just proof of violence, but a disturbing casualness in their behavior, a smirk, a laugh, a sense of conquest. It was as if the room itself absorbed the darkness and amplified it, reflecting back the absolute absence of empathy. Spain watched horrified. But the images were more than shocking, they were a revelation of a societal fracture, a reminder of what could happen when boundaries are ignored. When humanity is replaced by bravado, the investigation was labyrinthine. Authorities combed through evidence, video, and witness statements. But the more they uncovered, the more unsettling it became. How could such a coordinated act occur in broad daylight, amid a crowded city? What drove these men to silence, to secrecy, to documenting their atrocity with confidence? Every clue seemed to raise more questions than it answered. Friends and family of the victim fought for justice, but the case would test the very notion of fairness and morality. The courtroom became a stage for an intense battle over truth, perception, and public outrage. Social media ignited, voices demanding accountability, grappling with anger, disbelief, and grief. Outside, protests, chants, candlelight vigils, all punctuated by the silent, resolved anguish of one woman whose life had been shattered in minutes. And then came the shocking verdict, acquittals on the most heinous charges. A nation recoiled. Outrage erupted like wildfire. A collective gasp that questioned not only the men but the system itself. How could 5 people commit such an act and escape the full measure of justice? The legal labyrinth, the loopholes, the technicalities, none of it can soothe the horror. The disbelief, the lingering question, is this what justice looks like? The twists kept coming. Public outrage forced the courts to reconsider, reopening debates, challenging laws, exposing uncomfortable truths about consent, complicity, and societal attitudes toward sexual violence. The case became a mirror, reflecting fears and prejudices that many preferred to ignore. And still, the most intimate details, the fear, the screams that never reached the street, remain known only to her. And to those who perpetrated the crime, theories abounded. Was this a crime of opportunity, a spontaneous act? Or had it been meticulously planned? How could a city festival, full of revelers, fail to protect one of its own? The answers, if they exist, are buried beneath layers of silence, behind the closed doors of apartments, in the minds of men who refuse to truly confront what they have done. Even now, years later, the city of Pamplona carries echoes of that night. The festival continues, but the shadow of fear lingers. Families whisper warnings. Friends share cautionary tales. The case is a constant reminder that terror often comes in quiet, unexpected moments. That darkness sometimes walks openly under the guise of celebration. So, we are left with the question that chills the blood. How safe are we in the spaces we call familiar? How fragile is the illusion of security when a pack can strike with such calculated precision? And most importantly, can justice ever truly restore what was stolen in those merciless minutes? If you found this story chilling, subscribe for more mysteries, because some cases never close.